He wasn't just a kingpin, he was a ghost. Ruthless in the streets, calculated in the boardroom, and damn near impossible to kill. Today we break down the psychology, strategy, and savage moments that made James Ghost St. Patrick one of the most dangerous characters in television history. Let's get into it. One of the reasons why Lobos was so intrigued by Ghost is because of his sense of duality, right? Like he said, he was feared in the streets. He looked him up, he did the research, and found out that Ghost's name was highly respected in the streets, and people feared him. But on the other side of that, his name was respected in the business world, and he was able to be a chameleon, right? He had mastered both worlds, the criminal underworld and the corporate world. He was very good at playing both sides and very good at blending in different environments, right, to make himself more successful. And he understood that being around other people that were more successful than him would ultimately lead to his, tripled value and success. And one of the reasons that Ghost did this was by creating a club, opening a club, which was Club Truth. Even in that first episode, you see both sides of Ghost. You see him in the club with Tasha being a whole businessman, and then a few moments later, he's catching a body and killing Miguel right in the club's garage, right? So you kind of see both sides of him. You see how he uses the legit business to kind of front for the drug business, and he handled business right there in his garage and killed somebody and didn't even think twice about it. And I think this is one of the things that made him so dangerous. One of the things, strategy and intelligence. And, referencing back to that first episode again, Ghost was always 3 steps ahead, always calculated in every single move. It's how he was able to outwit all his enemies. And he was always very calculated, always very calm. Even if you've seen that previous clip, he knew they were getting hit. He wasn't going to stress about it. He wasn't going to make a huge deal about it. Just boom, shut down the business and make the next move, right? He knew how to manipulate the system in politics, law enforcement, allies, enemies. He had outwitted Lobos, Milan, Kane, and Dre, and even Tommy at times. One thing that I think Ghost had really mastered in this show is not being too emotional in any situation, right? And even if he did become emotional, he got over it very, very quickly. Another thing that people need to understand is that Ghost was not a hero. He was cold-blooded when he needed to be. He took out Roller, he took out Breeze, he sent Kane into jail. He got rid of the people that he loved if it meant that it could put himself in a better position, right? Betrayals, setups, all these executions were part of his mission to get himself ahead. That Ghost was really good at was he could be very charming 1 minute and then lethal the next. And that kind of goes back to, the whole duality thing of it, of being a legitimate businessman and then being a drug kingpin, is he didn't just react to threats. He eliminated threats before they even became a problem. This is why when the Tariq comparisons come about, it's hilarious. You know what I mean? It's hilarious, right? Because you can't rise to the top without getting blood on your hands. And Ghost's hands were soaked with blood. And I feel like Tariq's character just didn't have that. He was smart, and he is smart, but he's not good at eliminating threats like Ghost was, because Ghost, once he knew and seen a threat, he was already plotting on how to get up from under those people. Now, in reality, when you look at things logically, Ghost wanted out the game for his family. But ironically, his family became his biggest weakness, right? Tasha never believed in his dreams. Tariq eventually betrayed him. He wanted what you see in real life when you want more for yourself, you want to grow, you want to achieve more. People don't want that for you because they feel like you're trying to be better than them. They feel like you're trying to one-up them, and they can't stand that shit. And ultimately, they're going to do everything they can to tear you down. And who ended up being the one to take Ghost out? His son, the one person that he loved most. So that's a huge lesson right there. When it comes to family and kind of tying them in to your legacy, they can sometimes be a nuisance. Oh, even though Ghost's death was very tragic, it was almost poetic, right? Betrayed by his own son, the ultimate irony. But even in death, he shaped Power Book 2, Power Book 3, and the entire universe, right? He became almost a myth, a name whispered in fear, respect, and regret. And he still has a huge impact on the Power universe. It still has had a huge impact on the Power universe. People still talk about him all the time. Like, you get on social media, you get on TikTok, Instagram, whatever platform it may be, and you often see a lot of people who are like, damn, like, we want Ghost back. We miss his character and his presence and everything that he kind of brought to the universe. It's not the same anymore. With all that being said, Ghost was most definitely not perfect, right? But he was unstoppable because he had a vision, he had discipline, and the will to do what no one else could. And this is probably one of the biggest lessons that I took from Ghost is that, don't matter what anybody else say about you, man. Don't matter what they view your goals and your future as long as you got a plan, as long as you have a sense of what you want to do and where you want to go and where you want to end up at, that's all that matters. And every day you just got to get up and keep pushing towards that thing, right? Make sure you guys drop a comment, a like, share, subscribe if you guys like this content, if you guys enjoyed this video. And make sure you guys also lock in with my Patreon. Make sure you guys follow me on all platforms. Join the private community. It's $5, $10, $15, whichever subscription you want to join. And lock in, support your boy. And we're going to keep making this content. As you guys notice, I've been dropping videos every day this week. I've been just trying to lock in on the YouTube and be consistent and get better with every video. So you guys keep telling me what you guys enjoy, what you guys like, and I'm going to make it happen. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.